We are now at episode 4, Customer Data Cleanup, the simple system that stops repeat questions and mistakes. Picture this. It's early morning. Your CSR answers the phone and says, "Can I verify your address?" Customer says, "But I already gave that last time." Then your CSR asks, "Can I ask for your email?" Customer says, "I already gave that too." Then your CSR asks, "What's the gate code to use?" Customer says, "Dude, you've been here 6 times. It happens, right? A lot. Then your technician gets to the property and calls the office because the work order says, "Replace disposer." However, the notes says, "Check leak under the sink." The customer history is split across 3 profiles. The billing contact is with the wife on one record. The second, husband, which is the property manager. The third record is on the tenant. And the fourth, somehow it went to a wrong house, a house of a bike gangster. How about that? Beautiful. Very professional, yeah? You know what? Nothing screams, "Trust us with your home," like asking the same customer the same dumb questions every single time because your CRM looks like it was built during a mild electrical fire. Yeah. You know what? Here's the truth. Most service businesses do not have a customer service problem. They usually have a customer data problem. Because when your data is dirty, your team repeats the question, books the wrong job, sends the wrong technician, invoices the wrong email, chases the wrong contact, and then acts shocked when the customer gets irritated. Then your customer service says, "Property managers are difficult." They're not difficult. You're just making them relive the same conversation like it's a Groundhog Day with a service fee. So, in this video, I'm going to show you the simple customer data cleanup system that I use to stop repeat questions, duplicate profiles, bad notes, billing mistakes, and office confusion. By the end of this, you'll know how I structure the record, how I clean the junk, how I lock the fields down, how the CSR owns the maintenance, and exactly what I want documented so the truth lives in one place and not in Kate's memory. Kate is your new customer service. Okay. Now, let's talk about what dirty customer data actually costs. Because you, the owner, when you hear data cleanup, guess what? You immediately think, "Oh, fuck, it's admin work. Office project. Do later. Not urgent." Wrong, Sleepy Bob. This is not an admin problem. This is a margin problem. Because bad customer data creates all the expensive stuff. Tech driving to the wrong address. Repeat customers treated like strangers. Duplicate invoices. Estimate sent to dead email addresses. Bam. Service history splits across records. Wrong equipment tied to the wrong property. Office asking for gate codes again. Pets, access details, and billing contacts over and over again. Membership customers not getting recognized unless you have some membership stuff. Warranty jobs handled like COD jobs. I mean, it's fine. Some are. Past due follow-up going to the tenant instead of the property manager, which should be. Then angry customers saying, "Did I already tell you people this?" Sounds like Karen. Okay, well, actually they did. Your system just buried it under duplicate profiles, random notes, and one field called miscellaneous. It's like a one big trap. It's a one big trash bin in your CRM. And you know what's the real insult? When your team starts repeating questions that should have been settled years ago. Sample. What's the service address again? What's the best number to call? Who's the billing contact? Do we have access? What's the access code? What's this unit number again? Was it Deborah? Or Mike? Do you have pets? Is it the same rental property as last time? At that point, the customer stops feeling like a customer and starts feeling like an unpaid office worker. You know what happens next? They start doubting on everything. You know why? If your office can't keep their name, addresses, and job history straight, why would they trust you with a panel replacement or a sewer repair or a new condenser or a 1200 deep clean package? That's the stakes. Dirty data doesn't just annoy the office. It poisons trust, you know? Let me ask you this. How many mistakes in your business right now are actually not people problems at all? They're just the natural result of your team working off bad records. Could be a lot. Now let's move on to operator's mindset shift. You know why I always show this photo? Because it resembles a different mindset on how we should look at our business. We look at it like an assembly line, like a factory. Everything has a template, everything has steps, everything has procedure, and the outcome is predictable according to the template. That is a system. Okay, let's move on. So here is the mindset shift. Customer data is not there to make your CRM look full. Customer data is there to make your decision fast. Let me repeat that again. Customer data is not there to make the CRM look full. Customer data is there to make your decision fast. That's it. Period. Job done. No, not job done. Show's over. It doesn't matter how many records you have. It doesn't matter whether the right person can find the truth in 10 seconds. It doesn't matter. Because a bad system will beat a good person every time. Every time. 100%. All right? You can have the best technician, the best CSR, the best dispatcher. But if you put them in a bad system, nothing will grow. Your company will never grow. So we build the right system. It's epigenetics. You know? When a team keeps asking repeat questions, I don't start with, who messed this up? I start with these questions. Where's the source of the truth? What record type are we confusing? What fields are optional that should have been mandatory? Who allowed to edit what? Unless you allow your CSR to edit something or you give them some admin, higher admin, access. So who allowed to edit what? Next. What gets merged, archived, tagged, or blocked? What should be a note and what should be a field? That's two different things. See? If you ask these questions, that's the whole game. And here's the big operator principle. We make this your first principle. A customer is not the same thing as a contact. Bear with me. A contact is not the same thing as a location. And a location is not the same thing as a job. Don't mix it up. It's a simple English. It's a simple definition. You should not mix it up. You need to separate those things because your office will spend the next 5 years asking the same questions like they've never met the client before, which is happening right now. Starting today, after this episode 4, you have to fully digest this stuff. I'm not cleaning data. I'm building memory for the business. Okay? If you have some past data that you don't want to delete, then don't erase those data. You don't have to clean those data. I mean, not yet. Okay? We'll go over with that in a bit. Today, I'm building memory for the business. That's the only thing you should think of. Because you as the owner, trust me, your memory is not scalable. And your VA, your CSR, your dispatcher, guess what? Their memory is also not scalable. Guess who's the third person? Your technician. Your technician's memory? They become suspiciously selective. The second something goes wrong, the second they see a big tits on the street, oh my God. They'll forget everything. Who was that blonde girl who made a post signature after I fixed this, after I fixed that? The only thing I remember is the girl, not the thing that they fixed. So they're kind of like selective. It happens a lot. Most of the time. They get distracted. Technicians get horny. Right? Okay, next slide. The system/workflow. Step 1, build the record architecture before you clean anything. Before you even cut a tree, you have to position the scaffolds, the rope, where it'll fall before you even clean and cut and do all your shit that could cause a bigger damage, right? Build an architecture, structure it first. Step 1 is not deleting duplicates. We'll go over with that in a bit, okay? It's just to identify and decide what clean record actually is. I'm not sure if a tree or cutting a tree is a good example, but you get the idea, right? If you do not define the record structure first, you're just technically reorganizing a landfill. And reorganizing a landfill is still a landfill and it's still garbage. So, this is the architecture I want a service business must have. 4 layers. Customer, contact, location, and then asset service history. Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to explain this a little bit low to a point where everyone can understand in case a customer service is watching this, or an operations manager, or anyone that doesn't know yet, or untrained. Okay, so let me explain the customers, the kind of customers you get to see in this episode. So, one customer can have multiple contacts: wife, brother, husband, on-site manager, off-site manager, right? One customer can have multiple locations, 7, 10 different property. Each property could have 10, 15, 100 tenants. It's a big headache. And that's just a service location. They can have a separate HQ or the main office, their headquarters, where documentations are running there back and forth. Third, one location can have multiple jobs. Again, one condominium, one apartment, or multi-housing building can have different appliances, different jobs, painting. I'm not just talking about appliances. There can be a lot of things, different jobs, different tenants, different problem, different drama. Second thing, one locations can have different service history, photos, access notes, equipment records, and billing patterns tied to. You're talking to tenant 1, tenant 2 from a unit A and unit B. They have different drama, different story. So it happens. Okay. Fifth one location can have multiple machines and equipment. So I guess it's the same as with the fourth, but this one's just so specific, right? A multi-housing can have 10 different washers and dryers, of course, depending on the capacity. But you get the idea, okay? Different tenants have different refrigerators, different microwaves, different preferences. That matters like crazy. Guys, you have to understand how hard is it to be a property manager. Imagine early morning, You have like 500 tenants calling you to fix this, to fix that, to fix the roof, fix their microwave. It's a lot. So you don't want to give them a headache. You as a vendor, he has to explain to you all the access code, the locations and the contact. Just get all those information. We're going to go over with all the data on how to get those on the next episode. Oh, yeah. Let me give you one example here. Cecilia Morosi. She owned her own big mansion. Landscaping issue, swimming pool issue, appliances issue. That's just on the residence side. And then second, she has a rental condominium. It could be a multi-housing. Hundreds of tenants. Right. Third, her mother's house, she still managed. Fourth, a commercial property under an LLC. And fifth, an ex-husband with 7 multi-housing that she still helps manage because they're now back in friend zone. So, yeah. If your CRM treats all of that like one mashed potato, sorry for the photo, I can't find any photo that fits the exact explanation of mashed potato, but to put the mashed potato photo. So, yeah. So if your CRM treats all of that like one mashed potato, congratulations, you built an error machine. You don't mix all of that. Okay. If you need a sample CRM or recommendation, email us in the description below. We could recommend you something. Okay. So who owns this task? You or the operations manager. You could define the structure. Your VA and your operations manager, they could, help map out the current mess on a new structure. And the VA and the tech follows the rules going forward. Look, you need to have a trained VA who understands the service industry, who understands real estate. Okay? You don't just hire someone just because they know customer service. At least hire someone who knows real estate, the principle behind real estate, the structure behind real estate, especially multi-housing. Okay, because that's crucial on admin works. So where do you see these records? Usually you see this under customer record, obviously. Contact record, location record, equipment's asset section, service history, billing terms, tags, archived status, do not service / do not market flag, if that doesn't exist. I guess Service Fusion doesn't have this. Okay, so here's my simple CRM pipeline. I guess you've seen this pipeline in first, second, and third episode. If not, you could just check on the playlist. The revenue pipeline can just stay normal, just the way it was. New lead, new work request comes in, or any active customer, estimate, work order created, and then scheduled, completed, invoices collected, closed, archived, done. Simple, right? But it should be simple. I mean, that's how it should be. But underneath that part right over there, you see that target button, acquire info or acquire information. The data status rules matters in that part right over there. It could be a unique customer. It could be a valid contact. It could be a valid location. You need to verify coupled billing. If, one property manager have resigned, may have a different billing now, may have had a divorce just 2 weeks ago, may have a different billing now. So verify all of that, right? Crazy, stupid. It happens. Trust me. We've heard a lot of stories and drama from different property managers. Again, they're not pain in the ass, but they're a human being. And, there are a lot of variables and moving parts. You just have to understand on how they operate. Okay. So yeah, hire a CSR that understands real estate. half of it. Okay. Or maybe 60%. They understand real estate, at least. So, verified communication preferences and verified asset history. What does this person likes? Does he like spaghetti? Does he likes what? Shawarma? None of those, but you get the idea, right? If a property manager calls you, oh, you can only call me by 3 p.m. because I have a meeting from 9 to 2, and you can only come here at 4 if you call me at 3. Customers have different communication preferences. I'm not available on Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. I'm not available on Friday. I got my yoga class, blah, blah, blah. Fucking nonsense. So, yeah. Also, verify asset history. Did I mention that? So, yeah, that is the skeleton of that part right over there. Let's move on to step 2. Run a cleanup sprint. Merge, archive, standardize, and stop the bleeding. Step 2 is the cleanup sprint. Obviously, not a forever project, not a 6-month committee, not, we're still working through it. You need to run this as a focused operational cleanup starting today. Okay? Here's the order. First, I need you to do this. Identify the duplicates. Decide surviving record rules. Merge what should be merged. Archived what should be archived. Flag what should have never been used again. Okay? When you say surviving records, check if the record is, more than 2-3 years. Call, verify, update, hey, ask your customer service to call the customer or the property manager. Is this still the same accounts payable? Is this still the same service address? Is the gate code still the same? A couple of that, right? We're just updating our CRM. Or you know what? Send them an email. Hey, we're updating our CRM. We want to know if these are still your properties. If there was no merging and acquisitions in your company. Things like that, right? Crazy. Okay. Then you need to standardize the key fields. Fill the blanks. Move critical facts out of notes into fields. Lock naming convention going forward. Simple. That's it. Just have to create, it depends on your niche, right? You could create a standard key fields depending on your workflow and depending on jobs that you usually do to the customer, right? But leave some things there that you can just fill the blank, like notes for the customer, notes for your tech, okay? Or some additional stuff that you could add on, maybe their Labrador or their German Shepherd got pregnant and they have new pet. I don't know, stupid stuff. So, yeah. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. Work on the most expensive error first, okay? The priority order must be like this. Active customers, customers with open estimates or scheduled work. Recurring / service plan customers, who are those? Commercial accounts, past due accounts, then everyone else, okay? Starting today, after watching this episode, get your top 10, make it top 20 customers if you have. Top 20 big and active customers. Then check if there are any open estimates and scheduled work. You can create a template. Check also who among those top 20 are your service plan or your, those recurring customers. And then check who are the commercial accounts. Commercial accounts are good. We're going to go over more on some episode of just explaining commercial accounts. So the fifth one is past due accounts. Check 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120. Trust me, you still have. If I can get to your CRM right now, I could probably dig in 10, 20 grand on a 90 day. Maybe. Mostly. And probably 100K on your 30 days. Okay. Who owns this stuff? Who owns this task right over here? Owner. So your VA or your CSR, they run the list and cleans active records during normal work. Don't let them fix the CRM early morning. No. Let them work on a CRM like 3 to 5, 2 hours a day. All right. Those hours that are not that busy anymore, have them work on that. All right. Let them clean the records one by one. If your CSR have been with you for like 6 months, I'm sure they know the customers already. They know who are the on-site, the off-site, the second wife, the third wife of this property manager. By now, they should know, right? If they still don't know, call us. We'll train them. Or there must be something wrong. Okay, next one. Owner manager decides edge cases. Yeah. Well, if there's one guy who understands your business very well, who understands your customers very well, who knows who, where, when, what, it's you. So you decide which one to delete, which one to archive, which one to merge. If it's like really, really complex, don't delete yet, but have your customer service call you and ask for the final decision if this needs to be merged or whatever, or deleted permanently. Last one. Dispatcher reports field breakage when records are wrong. Very simple. Okay, so where can you see all of this in the CRM? Duplicate report, merge tools, archived and in active status, custom fields, tags, communication preferences, location access fields, billing fields, asset fields. Guys, you got to create your own surviving record rulebook. You know, if you're a prepper and shit hit the fan, you got to create your own rulebook. How to survive, how to clean, how to execute. Okay? Why did I even give that example? But you know whose customer to merge, to archive, to delete, and create that rulebook to your CSR. Don't let them decide in their own. Because they don't know. You know. So, yeah. For example, oldest valid customer record usually survives. Like I said earlier, it's usually the oldest. Most complete contact info wins. Latest good email wins if verified. Unless you've given your CSR a bigger, wider access to all emails so they can check. Service history always preserved. Billing responsibility must be confirmed, not guessed. Of course, obviously. Property nickname standardized. Yeah. Don't make names on your customer. You know, I see customer service agents. They name names. I mean, it's okay internally, but it's not good to name names on customer, like call them names, like Sleepy Bob. Forgive me when I say some of those stuff. It's just for entertainment purposes in this channel. But don't call names or, you know, just standardize them. Call them in their formal name for the customers, right? Okay, so if it's, you know, CM Properties, you don't say, hey, CM called, blah, blah, blah. Just create a standard nickname. So, or, you know, forget a fucking nickname. Just standardize a name for the customer. So when you dig into your Slack, through your email and all that, it's easy to find. Trust me. Man, I've seen a lot of different communications, different nicknames. Okay, duplicate junk records archived, not left roaming around like zombies. Yeah. You know, here's one thing I always see in some other customer service. When they see duplicate records, one, either they don't give a fuck. Two, they're afraid to ask if this can be deleted or not. Three, they usually just don't give a fuck. So teach them to give a fuck, to be cautious, yet careful, and ask if this can be archived, deleted, or not. Okay? So yeah, it's just a matter of training them. Okay, so if you don't fix that, nothing will happen. You'll get the same. The next thing you know, in the next 2-3 years, you have like 10 different duplicate records of just one customer. Guys, not everything belongs in a personal note on your phone that you're gonna mix with. Prefers afternoon, dog in yard, gate code 4512, do not park in driveway, use side door. Which fucking side door? Tenant only there Tuesdays. What the fuck? Invoice to office. Office where? Membership expires August. August when? The next couple of years, it's still August. When? Panel upgrade estimate sent. Do not send Mike. That happens, right? I've seen a lot of owners. I'm not saying this is wrong, but this is a fucked up, this is a messed up, unstructured, no discipline system that you yourself, you are training your employees to be. There's just no standard. All right. Change your standard of making notes. You know what? Your CRM is there for a reason. You're paying what? 200, 300, 500. Use your CRM. Don't use your notes like this. All right? So, what? Just because you now have a brand new iPhone 17, you suddenly feel organized now? That's so fucking gay. Oh, wow. Good luck. Okay. Move stable information into fields and tags. What are those? Here are the standard fields: primary billing contact, alternate contact, service address, billing address, location nickname, access instruction, pets, parking notes. Yeah, parking notes. Really important. Property type, lead source, membership service plan status, warranty flag, do not text whoever this, ... Do not email if this and that in that. Do not service if they are past due 60, 90, whatever your terms is. Yeah, so next one is payment terms, and then tax exempt status if applicable. Preferred arrival window, if relevant. Some customers, they just prefer after lunch, whatever, nonsense. They call it nonsense because they ask for a service, but they're kind of picky when it comes to scheduling. Oh my God, please come here. I need your help ASAP, blah, blah, blah. Sure, we're going to schedule this. Yeah, but I'm not available on Tuesday and Thursday and Friday. The fuck? You need this ASAP, but you're kind of being choosy with your scheduling. Anyway, it happens. So, equipment, asset, and summary. So, guys, everything that is not stable, just go to the notes, but put it in the proper notes in your CRM, or use monday.com, basic notes, right? Don't put in a note like this. That's gay. Guys, if you separate stuff like this, that distinction alone kills half the repeat questions. Trust me. And it works. You don't need to buy an iPhone 17 to fix all your shit. Okay. Step 3, create a documentation standard so the next person doesn't have to guess. You have to create a structure on how to document when this customer A have this, when this customer B has this, customer C has this. You need to create a template, a standard, an SOP on how to do that. So obviously step 3 is documentation, because even after you have all the clean records, there's just one person in your team that can ruin everything with just one simple lazy note. You gotta have one real fucking solid documentation standard. Everything. For every job, for every customer, for every location. One solid documentation standard. Create an SOP. If you don't have one, email me in the description below. We're going to help you out. So, the standards says every note must answer one of this. I know there could be a lot, but these are just 5 things that I have on my mind right now. What changed? What was approved? What was declined? What do we need next? What should be the next person should know right away, right there, pronto, right? If there was no change, if there was nothing approved, there was nothing declined, then, nothing was changed. But if there was something changed, if there was something approved, if there was some status change, why it was declined, why it was approved, what to do next, what should the next person do after that? If you could create all those standards, things will be easy. I know there could be a lot of moving parts, but somehow this will give you a clarity of what to do next. Just don't create any novels, no mystery phrases, no talk to customers, handle, see old notes from this job order. I'm like, what the fuck? I've seen all of this. See old notes. This is the line that I really fucking hate. See old notes from this job order. Old notes where? So I'd have to dig in from that previous job order just to see the notes, because there's no new updated notes on the current job order. I have to dig in. It'll take me 5, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, a minute to dig in and investigate when I get to check on something. Like, shit. That's not a note. It's just a scavenger hunt that you want me to search from old jobs history. Fucking nonsense. There's just no standard. There's just no system. And that's not how a CRM should have. Sure, some instances you need to add references from the old notes, but what is now is now. What is today is today. Create that, build that, structure that. Okay, so who owns this? One is your technician. I know some of your technicians are old dogs, can't learn new tricks. No, they can learn. Just have to teach them. Field technician, they need to document all the work and findings. Train them properly. Your CSR, they need to document promises and scheduling changes. If they even promise, I'm going to be there 8 to 11. I'm going to be there 1 to 3. Sure. They need to document all that. Because if a customer comes in and there's a different CSR who answered it. Well, your CSR told us that they'll be coming here for like 1 to 3, and it's already 4 p.m. One, they didn't update it. Two, they just memorized the promise and didn't put it on a note. So yeah, they kind of mess up things. Third, if you have a separate VA, your CSR and a VA can be the same person, but if you have a separate one, so yeah, they can document some follow-up and billing contact updates. Like I said earlier, guys, your VA and your CSR can be a different person or it can be the same, but a VA can also be your accountant. Have them document some follow-up, some estimates, and some billing, some invoices. Check if there's any updates, new billing information, new accounts payable, new accounts receivable of that property manager. So yeah. Your next one is the operations manager. Have them review the notes. Have them as your quality assurance guy. I assume your operations manager has been with you for like 2-3 years. And for that reason, you promoted them as your operations manager, because I assume they already know your operations, right? And for that reason, they must and they should already know the structure of how your business run and how it operates, and they should already have a certain level of quality to assure, and now they can be your part-time quality assurance. Okay, where it leaves on the CRM: call note, job note, customer note, asset history, invoice note, task, attachment photos, approval, change order records. Okay, guys, rule is simple. Okay, permanent facts go in the field, events go in notes, actions go in task, proof goes in attachment. If your team follows that, next person will stop guessing. 100%. This is where phone system and internal workflow tools matters. Okay, so one example is Dialpad. Dialpad, we really love Dialpad. This is not a paid sponsor. This is not a paid video. Not yet. I hope they're going to sponsor us someday. But yeah, just for the sake of recommendation without them paying us. So Dialpad, they're sexy. They have AI. That's why they're sexy. They have AI call summary and recap features that could generate searchable summaries, outcomes, purpose, and action stuff. It's useful, like really useful, especially when your intake and follow-up information keeps, dying. And you can integrate this in your Slack, in your email, and all of stuff. So, if you have like important information that usually dies inside voicemail, you can use this one. Really awesome. There's Nextiva, there's Crescendo, there's Ring Central. I'm sure some of those, from the time I released this video, so I'm not sure if some of those phones may have a sexy AI in their system already. But so far, today, Dialpad, I've seen a lot of owners use this software. Again, not hi Dialpad. I've been using you, and I like you, and I hope you're going to sponsor me in this video someday. Okay, step 4. Lock down ownership, audit changes, and stop letting everyone edit everything. Guys, if you have given your CSR or your VA or your operations manager a admin access, depending on how much you trust them, an admin access to edit a certain level of information in your CRM, then yeah. Because the goal is to leverage your time. The goal is to make things easy. And since they already know the customer, at least give them a small admin access to edit some information. Okay. So step 4 basically is ownership. Who owns this? Who fixed this? Who edits this? But don't let everyone edit everything. Okay. Kind of mess up. Because here's the thing. A lot of dirty data comes from a very stupid management idea. Oh, this one should be this. I learned this from a Six Sigma shit. This should be how the management system works. Shut the fuck up. You don't know how a service industry runs. This is not some kind of banking stuff, marketing, blah, 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 stupid shit. Six Sigma shit. Okay? These are like simple, basic management system with millions of moving parts. Sometimes I don't understand. Okay. So, if everybody can update everything, it'll be a fucking mess. Okay? Again, on the previous slide, create a structure. Create a workflow on how to edit this. No nicknames, everything standard, everything has a template. Okay? That's how you end up with 3 different versions of same information. And if one makes mistake, nobody wants to own it. So here's the edit ownership rule that you can implement for your team. This is just basic. There can be a lot of things. There can be a million of things depending on how big your operations, depending on your niche. Okay. Your VA can create new leads and update basic intake and clean contact, merge duplicates if authorized, like I said earlier. Update billing preferences and archive old junk. Your dispatcher, they can update scheduling and route notes. Your technicians can update job notes, photos, asset findings, and field closeout items. Your OM, your operations manager, they need to approve, those edge case merges, do not service flag, and major billing changes. Those high level stuff that sometimes the VA doesn't know yet. Who is this customer, this big customers that needs to be merged? Kind of those sensitive stuff, high level money shit. Have your operations manager do it. Okay, you get what I mean? So yeah, you need to audit this. You as the owner, you don't just go on vacation and just leave everything running. Again, guys, when a customer data changes, ask these 3 main questions. What changed? Who changed it? When it changed? Why it changed? Basic, right? What, who, when, why? Okay, here's the thing, guys. Let's go with a bad payment discipline. If there's a bad customer data, eventually this will become a billing fight. How to avoid that? So here are my billing rules. 1, verified billing contact. Unless your property manager would advise you to CC the VP of finance or another property manager or the wife, because the wife handles the billing. So yeah. But there should just be 1 or 2 verified billing contact. 1 verified billing email. 3rd is the terms stored as field, not a note. It's just 30 days, 60 day. There should be a field when the invoice is generated in your CRM. 4th, tax exempt documentation attached if needed. 5th, commercial parent or child or property manager relationship documented clearly. This could be the property manager, but there is a parent company and there could be another third-party finance company paying them, paying you So, yeah. Lastly, no surprise invoice destination change without confirmation. Of course. No surprises. Don't just send it to another person. Oh, insurance and W-9. Nothing is dumber than finishing the job or sending the invoice to the wrong person, and then you wait for like 20 days, 30 days, and suddenly you act shocked when cash flow looks like a hostage video, when you have no money to pay for payroll next week. Yeah, it was sent to a wrong email to a wrong accounts payable. Well, you should have verified it a week ago, right? Before you even did the job, you should have verified that. Okay, next one. VA responsibilities lies. Daily, weekly, and monthly. Let me be crystal clear in this discussion. Your VA is not nice to have employee. Your VA is basically your sanitation department for your CRM. Okay? You can have all the AI shit and all that, but you need a human being to understand certain part in your CRM that can edit, archive, delete, and merge things and thinks logically as a human being, not AI shit. Sure, we have AI stuff right now, but this is the part where human intervention is really important, and that's your VA, and you have to take care of them. You have to train them. Okay, daily. Your VA must be doing this. Review newly created customer records for duplicates, verify new billing and service addresses, fix obvious formatting problems, move stable facts out of notes into field, flag missing contact roles, verify opt-out and consent field when communication changes, QA a sample of completed jobs for notes quality and asset references. Let me add something there. Get top 10 of your customers. Create a template of those 10 most recent completed jobs. Use that as a template to create a quality kind of job, a quality process that should be done, for your next employee or their next training. Weekly, run duplicate review archive inactive candidates, spot check top recurring customers, fix bad location nicknames, review do not service and do not market flags. Next, clean up bounce email or bad phone records. If you have like a separate marketing department, forget the marketing department. Fix your accounting first. If the email keeps bouncing on this one fucking accounts payable, call them. Call the president of the company. I don't care. This email has bounced 3 times and I need to collect this amount of money. Don't be rude. Just chat GPT some of your script, right? But that should not bounce in the first place, okay? You don't want to end up, I've seen this a lot. Invoices stuck 60 days, 90 days, just because the email keep bouncing. Why? Why in the first place? Here's the next one, bad phone records. I mean, unless your property manager is using a burner phone, which they should not. Okay, last one. Kind of got lost there. Review wrong contact invoice incident. Why? It all falls to why. Why did you have wrong contact before you created the job that led to schedule, then to invoice. Why in the first place? All right, so review this weekly. Monthly. Review that weekly, how many of those you've had so you could measure things. Monthly, audit top 50 revenue accounts, if depending on how big your operations is. Audit commercial billing relationship. Third, review records with repeated questions or repeated mistakes, past tense. Review all notes for critical facts still trapped in your mobile phone, your fucking free text. Update standard operating procedure example for the team. Report the biggest record quality problem by user and by job type. Okay. Simple, right? I guess I don't have to fully explain all of that. Okay. So, couple of realizations. After this episode, I need you to change your perception on how you run your business, especially in this episode on how you manage your customer data. For the owner, customer data is not admin work. Customer data is how your business remembers what it already knows, so your team doesn't keep asking the same fucking dumb questions. Structure your data, right? Help them out. What to delete, what to merge, what needs to be archived, so they don't keep asking the same questions over and over again. Okay, for duplicate records, if I have 3 profiles for one customer, then I don't have 3 customers. I have one mistake wearing 3 different costumes. For record architecture, I need to separate the customer, the contact, the location, and the job. Obviously, you should. The person paying is not always the person calling. And the person calling is not always the property. Okay? For note quality, permanent facts go in the field. Events go in the notes. Action goes in the task. Proof goes in the attachment. And if you mix those up, your CRM becomes a junk drawer. Okay, next one, for office accountability. Your memory is not a system. Okay? I'm not saying you don't have a memory. You have, but it's not a system. Your sticky note is not the system as well. Your group text is definitely not a system. Your CRM is a system. Just part of it. Part of the whole circulatory system of your engine, of your operating system in your business. For customers' respect, guys, if you keep asking the same repeat questions to this kind of customers, you're just basically training them not to trust you. It just sounds stupid, right? Now, for tech accountability, please train your technicians not to just write fixed issue on the completion note, because that can cause a really big trouble when collection comes in. Tell me what failed, what you found, what you did, what they approved, and what's the next person needs to know, right? Not a novel, but structured need to know facts with attachment, with proof, before and after, right? Watch episode 1 in here. Should learn some of those stuff. For billing discipline, 1 verified billing contact, 1 verified billing email, 1 clear payment term. I'm not treasure hunting with this account receivable. Okay? Okay, for privacy and compliance. If a customer opts out of marketing, if you have a marketing department and you do bunch of marketing emails. That needs to live in a real field, not in a note, in a field. Because you don't put that in a note from last summer, buried under 6 scheduling updates. Can't find it. Next thing you know, you get sued for spamming people. Okay? Next, for cleanup leadership. Guys, this could apply for the owner and the operations manager. Data cleanup is not a one-time office project. Okay, like I said, have your VA or your key person do this at least like 3 to 5 p.m. every day for the next 2-3 months. Okay, this is not a one-time project. It's a maintenance system. It's a discipline. You know, if you don't have this mindset, I'm 100% the mess will just come back after 2 weeks if you don't enforce a strict standard on cleaning up your records. I'm 100%. So, moving on, how many customers' records right now are technically in the system but still useless when somebody actually needs the truth fast? Check your CRM. Okay, let's move on to mistakes to avoid. Mistake 1, try to clean data before defining the record structure. What it costs, you merge the wrong things, you preserve the wrong record, you keep the same confusion in a shinier shape. What to do instead? Well, define customer with old account first. Usually old accounts are reliable. You define the contact, the location, and the asset rules first. Okay? Then you can clean, but not yet. You know, try to cross-reference other job notes, emails, your Slack, and all that. Okay. Mistake 2, using notes as a landfill. What it costs, repeat questions, missed facts, bad handoff, billing errors, customer frustration. What to do instead? Move those stable facts into fields and tags. And then keep those notes as event-based. Okay? Mistake 3, letting everyone edit everything. You know what it costs? Conflict records, silent changes, no accountability, no trust in the CRM. What to do instead? Role-based editing and fast approval for merges, billing changes, and sensitive flag. Okay. You, as the operations manager or the owner, assign at least an hour a day of yourself to sit down with your VA to just fix this data that needs to be merged, data that needs to be deleted, and those stuff, right? So they don't keep asking the same dumb questions over and over again. They don't edit shit in their own. Okay. Mistake 4, ignoring communication preferences. What it costs. Marketing complaints, reminder failures, compliance exposure. So what to do instead? Use real consent and opt-out fields for text and email. And you really need to honor them in compliance with FTC and FCC rules. Guys, don't get into trouble with spam and can spam. Google it. Mistake 5, treating cleanup like a one-time purge. Guys, it's not. It's a process. Okay? Like I said, you need to assign your VA or your CSR an hour or 2 a day for like 2-3 months, depending on how big your operations, how big your data is. Right? What it costs, mess comes back in 30 days. No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, everything gets messy again. Second, Team stops caring. Well, in the first place, they don't give a fuck because you don't give a fuck. Your operations managers don't give a fuck. Your technicians don't give a fuck. Who gives a fuck? No one. Your data, it's like a landfill. Third, duplicates multiply like rabbits with a CRM login. You know what? No. They multiply like gremlins. If you're a 90s kid, you should know what gremlins are. So yeah. So what to do instead? Daily hygiene. 3 to 5 p.m. every day for the next 2-3 months. Weekly review, monthly audit. Okay? Simple things. Could actually just fix this one. Just have to allocate, an hour or two for your CRM. Okay. Still under system and workflow. Always rules. Always. So we chose this photo. Always check if your gun is loaded or not for safety. Okay. But it's just a photo. Nothing really personal, but it's just a way of us explaining this fucking nonsense. Always rules. Always separate customer, contact, location, and job history. Always verify billing responsibility before you invoice. Always move stable fact out of notes and into searchable fields. Okay. Simple, right? Never rules. Okay, so we use that photo to never kiss another guy with a rainbow flag. For some reason, my editor chose that photo. So never keep duplicate active records for the same customer just because nobody wants to decide. Never hide critical access, billing, or communication info in free text junk notes. Never let them say, the CRM is wrong. CRM is not wrong. It's just a software. Has codes depending on what you put there. It has fields. CRM is not wrong. It's the user of the CRM. So, anyway, never let the team say CRM is wrong without facing the record and the process that caused it. Okay, kind of got lost there with the rainbow flag. Got distracted. If then rules. If a duplicate is found on an active customer, then it gets reviewed and resolved the same day. If a stable fact is asked more than once, then it becomes a field, tag, or checklist item. If the wrong contact got invoice, reminder, or update, then the record structure gets audited before the next job. Man, that will change your game. I mean, if you already apply this, if you already know this, well, good. Just have to implement it. Maybe you just need someone to remind you. I'm not an expert to all of this, but these are a couple of things that we have experienced from the past that we have fixed, updated, developed, and have created a template. And yeah, until everything became structured and how we can help other clients. So let's wrap this up. Customer data cleanup is not glamorous. Never will. It'll never be. All right. But here's the good news. It's profitable. It'll stop repeat questions. It stops billing mistakes. It stops blind dispatch. It stops bad handoff. It stops customers from feeling like your company has amnesia. Finally, now your property manager will trust you again. And the simple system is this. Build record architecture. Run a cleanup sprint every day and weekly. Standardize the documentation. Lock ownership. VA1, VA2, VA3, you handle this, handle this, handle this. Okay? Something goes wrong, It's your problem. It's your problem. It's your problem. So this is the thing to how you fix it. Anyway. Next, maintain it every week like it matters. Every week. Sunday, church. It matters. Your kids' soccer game. On Sunday, it matters. This, it matters. Do this every week. Like your life depends on it, because it does. The cleaner your data gets, the lesser your business has to guess. And the less your business has to guess, the more professional it looks, the faster it moves, and the fewer mistakes you pay for. So, here's my call to action for today. Go pull up top 25 of your customers today, depending on how big your operations is. Top 50, top 100, just top 25. Not those, not those random one-off, okay? Your top 25 recurring customers. Then ask one question. If my best technician, my best dispatcher, my best VA opens this record right now, would they all find the same truth in less than 10 seconds? If the answer is no, your CRM is not a memory system. It's just a fucking expensive filing cabinet with commitment issue, $500, $600 a month. Guys, always remember, I always say this line. I'm not sure if I own this line, but if I own this line, let me know in the description, in the comments below. Don't steal it. So, build the system, run the system, let the system run. Next episode is episode 5, how to partner with property managers without chasing them forever. Ciao for now.